Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, I think that's how you pronounce that word, was released on the Sony PlayStation back in 1997, making it one of the earliest 3D platformers out there, and it holds up fairly well despite its age. Visually, the game is still very pleasing, with its colourful cartoony graphics and mostly consistent frame rate. The soundtrack is catchy and memorable too. The game is split into mostly linear levels where your goal is to hit the gong at the end. On the way you encounter enemies, gems and of course the Gobbos. There is some exploration along the way, but it's fairly limited. The simple design however keeps the game focused, and I generally prefer platformers to be fairly linear anyway. The overall level design is strong yet straightforward, making sure you rarely have to stop and look around too much whilst you complete your current task, be it finding a key or a button or even a coloured gem. There are also bosses at the end of some levels. These bosses tend to be a bit lackluster and even somewhat unpolished. Sometimes it can be hard to tell when it's safe to attack them. The biggest issue with Croc is the controls. You can play with either the D-pad or the analog stick, each method having advantages and weaknesses. With the D-pad you have the advantage of turning on the spot easily, but running while turning is imprecise. With the analog stick it's much easier to run and turn, but you lose the precision. These issues with the controls make some platforming sections much harder than they need to be, making the overall experience frustrating at times. Croc is a good game. Sure, the controls can be aggravating at times, but that doesn't diminish the fact that at its core it's a solid, fun platformer with brilliant presentation. I definitely recommend giving it a go, just take into account that the controls aren't as smooth as something like Super Mario 64.
Moron!